I'm Kevin Harrington. I'm here with my co-host Forbes Riley.
Abby.
She's an award-winning television host and celebrity fitness and health expert.
And of course, you recognize my co-host as the original shark on Shark Tank and one of the country's most amazing, innovative entrepreneurs. It's always a pleasure to sit next to you.
I'm great and happy to be here.
Well, thank you. So now, when you talk about health, do you think you're healthy?
Yeah, I think I am.
How
Sure.
do you know?
Well, I feel good. I think that's maybe one of the. When I wake up in the morning, I feel healthy. Do a little working out, eat right.
What if I told you that's not enough?
Wow.
Because you don't know that you're not feeling well until you break down, and that's when you go to the
Okay,
doctor.
right.
What if you knew a way to prevent it?
That would be cool.
I know.
think if you had that kind of crystal ball, that would be pretty amazing.
Well, the crystal ball is actually in your eyes. They're the
Wow.
window to the soul, and our next guest has created and really gotten to the root of something amazing, helping people get healthy naturally without drugs. Please welcome Dr. Cindy Cork. I adore her, and I'm so happy to have her here today.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Now,
It's a
you're on a
pleasure.
mission, correct?
I am.
To do what?
My mission is to let people know that there is a way to be healthy naturally and not be on medications.
See, now that's not a typical message, is it?
No. You're a doctor of optometry,
Yes,
right? So we're
that's
talking
correct.
eyes here, right?
Yes.
So, what is it about your eyes that tells you about your health? Tell us about that.
Well, as an optometrist, I'm licensed to prescribe glasses and contact lenses for people and also to assess any kind of eye disease. But I've actually taken my practice a step further, and I utilize a technique that's been around for centuries where we look at the iris, which is the colored part of your eye, and we use it as a map that shows us what weaknesses you may have inherited from generations back that could potentially cause an issue for you later on in life.
A little like a crystal ball, isn't it?
It's kind of like a crystal ball.
So now iridology is what it's called.
It's called iridology, yes.
And I have certainly looked at it, and it's complicated. And I'm glad that you've taken the role up, because it's not an easy thing to do. Cindy, you live in Alaska, don't you?
I do.
I think that, which I just visited for the first time, God's country, amazing.
It is beautiful.
So, in my understanding of talking to you, you were prescribing glasses and contacts, but you were looking at people's overall health, and you started to notice something. How did you get interested in iridology?
Well, I've been interested in alternative therapies for a long time. I actually was, before I became an optometrist, I was involved in the pharmaceutical industry as a chemist. And what I learned as a chemist was that there are lots of negative side effects with any medication that you take. And, really drugs are just not the answer. When you have a symptom, most people take a drug and all it does is it really just covers the symptom, but it doesn't cure anything. And I remember this day very, very well. It was December 10th, 1994, and I received a letter from the Red Cross. I had donated blood some weeks before, and they told me that I had a blood disease that was incurable.
Oh, wow.
And and that was the point, actually, that kind of was a turning point for me. I had really just started optometry school. It was my first semester. I was just about getting ready to take exams. And that stayed with me. And as I was going through school, I started exploring alternative therapies because they told me there's no cure for this blood disease.
Right.
And I came across different alternative therapies, but what really interested me was, of course, iridology, because it had to do with the eyes. And when I got looking at that, you could see that you've heard of reflexology.
Sure, in the feet.
Right.
Yeah.
So just as with reflexology, where each part of the foot corresponds to a different organ of the body, the iris is kind of like a map. So the different parts of the iris correspond to different parts of the body.
Since I had not heard this about your blood, can you see that in your own eyes when you look at it?
No, I couldn't see it in my own eyes. But I knew that even though someone told me that something was incurable and that there was no cure, that there had to be something that I could do.
And so what's your journey been? Has it been successful?
It's been successful, yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. So give me an example of somebody that you looked in their eyes and you saw something and made a change in their life.
So I had a client, or I should say I have, because she's still a current client. She actually had to leave her job because she had malignant hypertension. Her blood pressure was so high from all the stress from her job. She had to
Okay.
leave her job as a high-powered banker, and she didn't want to get on any medications. I mean, the doctors had her on all types of different medications, but she was feeling worse. And so she came to me, and we took a look at her eyes, gave some recommendations as far as what she could do to take care of some of the weaknesses that were evident. And now she's able to, go back to work, not as a banker, because obviously that's too high stress, but now she's back to work, and she's doing it without any medications.
Now, you have developed a system.
Yes.
So I come to you, I say, you know what, I'm feeling a little sluggish, or I want to see what's wrong with me or anyone I love. And once you look at somebody's eyes, what are the 3 things that you then do for them?
Okay, so it's a 3-step system. The first thing we do is we analyze, and that's looking at the eyes, and then also, of course, a lot of different history, because we can tell other things looking at the iris other than parts of the body that are weak. But we identify what parts, what organs or what issues you could have weaknesses in.
Don't you love that you can actually see that and know?
Oh, it's amazing.
All right, so the first is we identify.
So we identify what's going on. So
Right.
we analyze what's up. So the second thing is we're going to optimize.
Okay.
Right. And what we do by that is we're going to detox you. So we're going to do a complete physical and emotional detox. People don't realize how many toxins that they're exposed to naturally.
And they build up inside your body,
Exactly.
too, right?
I mean, you've been exposed to toxins since you were in the womb from, what your mother was eating, then the air that you breathe, the food that you eat.
And I've been a fan of this for a very long time. And in your colons, that was one of the places that a lot of these toxins. Do you know they said that Elvis died with like 35 pounds of toxins in his body?
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, John Wayne, they said when they did a autopsy on him,
Yeah.
his colon was so impacted, it was probably like half of his weight was in his colon.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
And
Yeah.
we don't. Here's the thing: you don't think about it, but there are symptoms. You're tired. You're sluggish. You're obviously something in your eyes, but you know when you're not 100%. But most of us don't do anything until we're down to like 30. We're so depleted. Our adrenals are shot. We drink too much coffee. We really need to stop for a second.
Yes.
Come to you, and say, hey, help me. So we've identified and optimized. What's the third one?
So, I still wanted to talk
I'm
about the
sorry.
optimize.
Oh, no, okay.
Before you moved on.
We're cleaning out our body.
So we're cleaning out the body.
I get so
not,
excited about it.
Not just of the gunk.
Right.
But we also need to clean, emotionally,
Oh, you
mentally.
do that too?
Yes, we do.
That's exciting.
Yes. Because it doesn't matter how much you clean your body out if you don't have the proper mental facilities, right? Then you're not going to be able to follow through with anything past
It's like
the
a
plan.
full service process here.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
we
is
got your
great.
head to
I love
toe.
it.
And once you detox, you're going to have more energy, you'll have more passion for life, and you'll even have a better sex life.
Okay.
All right.
Did you know that?
All from your eyes?
I don't.
In your eyes, yes.
Our audience
Yes.
just woke up and said, "Whoa, wait a second! I can have better sex if I identify
Yes,
this."
in fact, one of my
all going to
colleagues, one of my colleagues, Dr. Heather Pearman, she's a relationship expert, and she recommends my system to her clients.
well, so
because
much
of
so that you actually, and I want to get back to the system, but you actually wrote a little book about this because.
I did.
What's called what?
6 Steps to a Sizzling Sex Life.
Okay, so his wife's name is Crystal. We're going to send. All right, so are we done with the optimized part?
Yes,
we got
yes,
to the
yes.
sex. I fell
So,
apart.
so once we optimize, then the third step is we maximize. So we're going
Oh.
to maximize your health, and that is, when the eye gives you just so much information that I can look at your eyes and I can tell what foods you should be eating, what type of herbs are going to maximize your energy and get you healthier. And so by looking at your irises, we're going to come up with a customized plan to maximize your health. And
Wow.
of course, all of that includes, different lifestyle changes like exercise, relaxation, breathing. All of that is included.
Eating the right
and
way.
eating right,
Are there
exactly.
supplements that you
Hydration.
recommend?
Yes,
too?
there are.
Supplements help, right?
Supplements definitely help, but they also have to be supplements that are from the right companies.
Okay.
Because I'm also a raw food, certified raw foodist. And so I recommend very highly raw food products. So the products that I recommend, I have to know that they're organic, that there are no byproducts or anything in these products, and that they're made from whole foods, so that
I have a big
my
question.
clients are getting the full nutrition that they're supposed to.
Today, with all of the screens, from the TV screen to the computer to the iPad to phone, aren't people getting a lot of the blue light now? Kids and
Yes, they are.
adults. I know I do. And how bad is that? And is this something that you help people with?
Well, I do that in my optometry practice.
Okay.
Because, I mean, again, I do.
Wait,
I am an
what is
optometrist.
what is
so-
the blue light? I'm going, wait a second, I look at too many screens. What's going on?
The blue light coming off the computer.
Yeah, the blue light coming off the computer, it actually can cause macular degeneration.
Really?
Yes. So it can cause eye disease.
Oh, I'm listening. Go ahead, because I've got two. Well, hey, I've got two little kids who are
Yeah.
staring at that screen and playing video games.
Yeah.
I never thought about it being bad for their eyes.
Yes. It's bad for their eyes. And on top of not just the blue light, but being focused on your computer screen or being up close, your eyes have to work twice as hard to look at something closer up than it has to look at something far away.
So, Doc, what do you recommend? Because we're doing this, we're looking at all this. We can't help that in the world we live in.
No, that's true. You can't, because now we're really going into a more computerized society. So one of the things I do recommend to my clients and my patients is to do what we call visual hygiene.
Okay.
And that is every 20 minutes that you're focused on your computer or on your computer, your laptop,
Beautiful iPhone.
handheld, yes.
Right.
For every 20 minutes, you're going to stop, look away at something 20 feet away or as far away from you as possible, and focus on that for at least 20 seconds.
Okay.
And while you're looking out there, you're going to give yourself a good few blinks, because another thing that we do when we're looking up close is we don't blink as often. We don't notice that. But your tears are very important to the health of your eyes, because
Yes.
your tears have antibacterials that are going to kill any kind of bugs that get on your eyes. If you're a contact lens wearer, it's very important, because when you blink, the tears get underneath the lens to rinse out any bugs that get
I'll
under
notice
there.
after
and
a
you also see
5-hour
clearer.
flight on an airplane
Yeah.
and just in there, just so closed and looking at my computer the whole time that I come out of there just feeling terrible. My eyes are dry and so
Yes.
that visual hygiene.
That's a great recommendation.
Great concept. Great
How do
concept.
people find out about how to get in contact with you?
Well, they can click the little button below this video, and they fill out. I have a free offer,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
and they can contact me, and we can speak in a little.
So
bit
you'll offer
more
a
in depth.
consultation to somebody?
I do.
That is awesome, because not everyone can get to Alaska to get to you. So do you have patients that you work with remotely? I mean,
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
You teach them the 3-step system.
I do. I
Right.
teach the three-step
Yeah.
system.
I'm very, well, you know what I like about it? It's simple. What I like about Cindy too is you really want to help, don't you?
I do. You know, I've had family members that have died prematurely from diseases, and I just feel that if people knew ahead of time that they had issues that could potentially occur and that they could proactively help themselves, then you know they could live such a more abundant life.
You know, it's funny, I just went through a retreat, and one of the things that they asked us to do was to stop for a moment and be grateful for your eyes. When's the last time you just thought about how wonderful it is to see things?
Absolutely.
You just saw your new grandbaby.
Yes,
You get to
yeah.
see your beautiful wife. You get to see colors. Not everyone is quite so lucky.
I agree.
And
And
so-
that's one thing that I find as an optometrist that really gets to me, is that people take their eyes for granted. And when you think that it's, you know, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is open your eyes and you can see. The last thing that you do before you go to sleep is close your eyes.
Yeah.
Right? So you use your eyes from the minute you get up to the minute that you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And the fact that people don't take that seriously enough and take care of themselves and their health. I mean, the eyes are really, and you know, you said it earlier that the eyes are the window to the soul. It's more than that. Your eyes are really a window into your health and into your whole entire life.
Where it really hits home for me is when I hear about the reflexology and the eyes being similar, having ending points of different organs to your body. Because I love massages and deep pressure points and reflexology.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
Sure.
You know, there's little points there that go to an organ. The same thing with the eyes. That makes total sense. This ancient technique that you're really expanding and using all around America. It's
Well, because what
fantastic.
Cindy's focusing on is a holistic approach. Your body all functions together.
Yes.
So as a holistic practitioner, it makes sense that you just don't do eyes anymore because you see so much more. And I love the fact that you've decided to do it without medication, at least focus on, medication has its place.
Yes, it
but
does.
if you could fix us naturally. So in the last few seconds that we've got left, tell me as though I'm a person going, I need you. What is it that you offer?
So what I offer for you is a way for you to understand what's going on in your body and how you can take steps proactively to be healthy and to do it naturally and not be dependent upon any toxic medications.
How important is it to you that people hear your message?
It's extremely important because I feel that in the United States, the pharmaceutical company really has a stranglehold on us. And we're brainwashed every day when we look at the news, when we read the newspapers, when we look through magazines. They're just ads upon ads upon ads for every little thing. You know, if your leg shakes, you have to have a medication for that. If you can't sleep, you have to take a medication for that. If you can't blink properly, you have to take a medication for that. And, you know, that's ridiculous. There's a reason why these things happen. And it's your body's way of telling you something is going on, stop, listen to it, and then just give it what it needs in order to heal by
And
itself.
Cindy helps everybody out there without taking drugs, without medicine. That's the amazing part of this.
Just by looking in your eyes.
Yes.
Cindy,
Hey.
you are awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so
our
much
guest.
for
Thanks
having
for
me.
being here.
And I like seeing you often as I can. And we'll see you in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.